Hey everyone, I'm Evangeline right here at eTrailer. Since different bike racks fit different vehicles in different ways, today we're going to be taking a look at how the Saris SuperClamp fits on the 2024 Buick Envision. There are some fitment things we're going to take a look at here, like the hitch receiver on the Envision is way in closer to the vehicle, so sometimes you might be worried about clearance issues with your car, and we're going to talk about that. Another thing is that with that, can you still get full access to your vehicle's hatch and all those things even while you have a bike rack? So let's get to it. The Saris SuperClamp is known for being very compact, where you can leave it on your car, it doesn't take up too much room. And taking a look at how the bike sits on this rack, we have some really good notes here too. So some things I look at are the pedals and where they sit. This one comes real close to the bumper, so my recommendation is that you just have your crank arm up where your license plate is. That way you'll have the best clearance between your pedal and your vehicle. Next up is going to be your handlebars. Fortunately, the Envision has this shape to the hatch, so there's plenty of space between our handlebars. My handlebars are 29 inches long, so even with longer bikes, you should be good to go. Your road bikes, just double check that, making sure it doesn't make contact with the hatch door. The next thing is, can I still access the hatch if I tilt the rack away, even though the SuperClamp has a really shallow tilt? The answer is yes. So pulling this handle here, bringing this rack down, even though it looks like it might not clear, something that I recommend is, if in doubt, just bring the crank arm down so that the pedal is in the lowest position, and you can see her opening up the hatch door, coming up to the handlebars. It was close, but it made it. So this way you are still able to reach into your hatch, grabbing your helmets, grabbing your backpacks, your waters, things like that. We'll bring the door right back down, and it's a good time to look back at that handlebar clearance. Looks good. So if you have a larger or longer handlebars, just something to be mindful of, that you may or may not have the best clearance for you. Now this rack has a 60-pound per bike weight capacity. So if you have extra heavy electric bikes, something I hear a lot is, can I still load it up? Will that process be easy? The answer is yes, since this bike rack sits at a really good distance up and off the ground. So if I was to measure at the end of the bike rack to the ground, that's going to be 17 inches of clearance. So think about speed bumps, potholes, things like that. You're going to have plenty of space there, much less likely to bottom out. Now where the bike sits up and off the ground is 17 inches, and that's something to be mindful of. Like if you have a 60-pound electric bike, you'll still be able to just like roll that up and onto the rack. No big deal. Now, what type of bike do you have? Because if you have, let's say, an electric bike with fenders, totally fine. This is fender compatible because of where that mount sits. You have a locking arm, so the arm itself can be locked. Then you have this easy to press lever, and then the arm stops right here to give space to fenders if needed. Now we're going to take this bike off, and I do need to start over with removing that rear strap, bringing that out, storing that strap down, and then coming back over to the arm. Hold on to the bike with one hand, press this, and lift up, and then bring out. This is spring-loaded, so when you release, it will instantly secure up against that tray. So now I can grab the bike and go. Notice the positioning of that cradle, in fact. So that is designed for those different types of bikes, of those different sizes. You can actually, with the use of a little tool, Allen key, adjust for your different wheel lengths, and you have that angle up there to support your wheel. You also have this sliding strap so that if you needed to, if you have a smaller wheelbase bike or a larger wheelbase bike, you are fine. Now, the SuperClamp is very compact, so we'll go through this one quick. length this will add to the back of your car. If you measured from the bumper to the end is 22 inches. If I were to bring this rack up to the folded position, let's see here, there we go, just like that. This will now sit at 14 inches of length. Pretty okay difference, not too significant, but still helpful when you're just driving around town. You'll notice here that where it sits up has plenty of space between the car and the hatch door coming up. There's plenty of clearance there too. So nothing that I'm ever concerned about when it comes to, you know, just clearance issues, if I would be able to open up the hatch door or not. All around, very compact, very sleek bike rack. This fits into your 1.25" or 2" hitch receivers. It looks really good. This is how people will see your bike rack when you're driving down the road. For you, with it in this position, full visibility through your rear camera, your backup lights, your window, all those things, just because of how it sits down lower. So for those who are wondering if this bike rack will fit on the car, the answer is yes. The next question is, will the bike fit on the bike rack on your car? And hopefully this video kind of covered that, looking at the positioning of the pedals, handlebars, things like that. If you have any questions, maybe you're looking at different options for bike racks, or you're looking at something with higher weight capacity or can carry more bikes, well, let us know. There are plenty of fits for racks on your car. The Saris SuperClamp is going to be compact but very feature rich, and you just saw it on a 2024 Buick Envision.